Welcome to Inside Outboards with your host, kodibass. Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. And of course, a big hello to all you new subscribers joining us here. We thank you for stopping in on the Outboard channel, where we like to do mostly boats and outboards and associated stuff. Yep. Well, I want to, as you saw in the last video, we got the old Seagull Century, I think it's called. We got it running, so we know it's got a good power head and all that. I still got to do the lower unit and figure out that whole propeller mess. I want to give a shout out to Keith over in the UK for all the information and for sending me the PDFs with the parts and so forth. That's much appreciated. I do appreciate that for sure. And for all you guys that weighed in and said it's probably a this year, that year, and then once I said the letters, maybe letters and numbers, I don't remember, but it helped a lot. And so we got it running, and the good news, is I was able to get those pots that I needed ordered. I got them from a place over in the UK called, I think, Sheridan Marine. And I had trouble. I don't know what happened. I found the carburetor bowl, the fuel hose, all the parts, and entered the credit card and everything, and it said I needed some kind of code. And I know there's a code on the back of the card. I put that in there, and it said wouldn't take it. So I don't know. So I did it again, and I got an email said they're on their way. So I got all the parts and pieces. So I can't do the outboard dance just yet on the Seagull. I mean, it runs, but it don't run. It's got to run right to do the outboard dance. You understand? So, but do I have another victim? Of course we have a victim. So I got another one while I'm waiting on the parts pieces. I'm going to bring another victim in here. We're going to take a look at it. And it was a freebie. You know, I wore the hat that I wear when I get the Christmas presents. I wore that on this one. It's been a while ago, but I'm going to show you also a little piece of Kodiak that, you know, in my videos and most people's videos, they won't show you this part, but I'm going to show it to you anyway. Show you that. Oh, I'm going to hold off for another week before I announce the winner of, I said there was a third outboard company, I think, associated with the Volvo, Penta, and such and that and this and that in my last video. Well, I think it was my last video. But I'm going to hold off one more week before I give that super clean t-shirt away. Because I've only had one that I think, and there's probably, boy, this is hard to explain. There's probably other outboards associated with Volvo, Penta, Archimedes, Penta, Crescent, and the like. But this was one that I found online, and I read a whole story on it. And so it's a particular one I'm looking for. And it had specifically to do with one portion of the outboard, from what I understand. You understand. I've only had one person that I think has got it right so far. So I'm going to hold off for another week before I do. Well, if I only get that one person, I won't have to do the old YouTube auto shuffled. And like I said, there may be others that I'm unaware of, but this is I'm looking for the one that I'm aware of. That don't make it right or wrong. It just means I'm aware of it. You understand? Okay. But anyway, we got another victim. So let's get at it. I'll bring it in and show you. Let's go. Well, there she is. A Johnson 15. And you can tell by the mold and the yuck and the yummy and the yuck that she ain't been running a while. But a guy brought this to me and said, "You want it?" I said, "I want it." And I need, honestly, to get some smaller ones like this ready for the season. You can see, let's see what year we got here. This is a 93. No, it's a 90. Yeah, it's a 90, 1990. And you can see, and that fits the bill. You can see this is typical of the 90s and up. No primer. This is when they were struggling. What do they call it? In the gun world, they call it like the Japanese last ditch effort. Well, this is Johnson OMC last ditch effort. You can see the paint just peeling off. No primer, it just leaks off. Boy, she's been sitting for a while. Ooh, I bet there's some creepy crawlies in there. What gonna try and get me? I might have to do the old juju juice on this motor. Ooh. Not too bad inside. Let's see what we got. Boy, I don't see no big cobwebs or nothing. Little creepy crawlers or some spruce nettles. Wow, the throttles. Loosey-goosey. A lot of mold. Let me move this out my way. Okay. Time for you to raise to the occasion. Oh yeah, she got some compressiones. Let me get you on the other side because I think the light will be better. I'll be right back. Boy, this thing is actually really clean. I mean, clean power head. The carburetor and everything looks really good. Clean that carb is. You can see it down in there. It's nice. Got a few little spruce deals and whatnot, but overall, pretty clean little kicker. Throttle feels fairly loose. this side, everything's pretty neat and organized there. Everything got some grease on it. Some geese. Got to have the geese. There's some geese. Man, I wonder, should we just, instead of doing a facts check, just because it's ugly and dirty, don't mean that it won't pop right off and run. So I think what I'm going to do is get it set up in the tank and hook it up, and let's see what we get. Me, Billy Ray. Why, I'm the best commercial fisherman in the whole North Territory. I was up at the loading dock. I was talking to my cousin, Load 'em Up Joe. He's my third cousin, fourth connected. He told me you was at it again. He said you was working on outboards from Sweden, from Germany, from the UK. What's wrong with you? Don't you know the best outboards in the wide world are made right here in America? American outboards. I'm gonna keep an eye on you. I see you been messing around with them engines from way over there. I'm gonna come here, and I'm gonna fix you, and I'm gonna fix you right. What's for dinner? Well, mountain goat, of course. My buddy Mike, the mountain man, went and shot a mountain goat here on Kodiak. And he brought me some. Yummy. Well, yeah, that's looking good. I marinated it. I serenaded it. Oh, looky yonder. Mountain goat. Yummy. I might have already flipped that one, didn't I? Look at that. Uh-oh, a little piece just went in there. Okay. I like my mountain goat a little bit rare. All right, it's been like a day has gone by since I made the intro to this video, and something took place that I wanted to show you. I told you I found the parts for the British Seagull at Sheridan Marine, and they're on their way. But since then, a elderly gentleman passed away that I was an acquaintance with and so forth, and his family had an estate sale for a shed, gear shed and stuff he had. So I went down there and looked around, and lo and behold, there it is. That was in the shed. Now this is a much smaller British Seagull, but a Seagull nonetheless. And yeah. And I believe at one time I owned this engine. I do believe I sold this to a different gentleman who must have gave it to him, because it looks exactly, there's just little things I remember about it. Heck, I might even be able to confirm it with those numbers. Let me see if I can get it cleaned up just a little bit with a wire brush. And see if I can read them numbers. But it turns over and all. And it says some stuff right there. It says British Seagull, I think 40. And up here it says 1458AA5. Above that it says FP. So I don't know if that's forward, pull start, or what. But it's complete. It turns over. Let's see. The carburetor looks pretty bad on it, but the carb does have the banjo fitting and the bowl. The bowl is different than on the other one, though. It's a longer bowl this way. The other one's shorter. And I don't know if that would make a difference. But it doesn't matter. I got the parts on the way. But also with it came this. Another carb. And it's got that same deeper bowl. But it's got the banjo fitting as well. And it's definitely a smaller carb throat and so forth. And it's pretty roach too. But, you know, you'd be surprised. These old garbage raiders will clean up quite good sometimes. And then I also got this. I thought this was cute as could be. Look at this little vise. Isn't that neat? And I'll paint it up, clean it up. But it's just cool. It swivels and everything. It's just like a big little vise. It was just cute. It was a cutie. I had a good cutie vise. It's got the little anvil there. Everything. Isn't that neat? I just thought she was cute. $5, hey. Couldn't find a name on it anywhere or nothing. I look pretty good. She's a dirty, it was all froze up, and then I hit it with the PB blaster and got her. Hopefully maybe I clean it up a little bit, I can find some marks, names or something. But that was cute. So, yeah, we got us another British Seagull. Totally complete. So this makes, it's either 4 or 5. I'd say 4.5 of these that I have but they're all the big longer ones, such as the one we're working on over there. But this is the smaller one, and like I said, I do believe I used to own that a long time ago. And it came back to me. Alright, now, also in this video here, I had a sub who has a 7.5 Johnson, I think he said, and it's the older ones. And he was wondering if there was a flush device for it. Yes. Here they are. It is the Flushetta 1917 and 1918. And I will show them to you. And then I will try to figure out which is which. I wrote 1917 on that one. And I've got a couple, 3, 4 of them. But anyway, this is the one you're looking for the 7.5. It's this one, the 918. It's smaller. And all it does is this goes up on the bottom of where the water inlet tube is. You know, where that little exhaust thing sticks down. There's a screen down there on the very bottom side of it. Look at your motor, you'll see a screen down there. This fits right over that screen. Then you stretch these springs and put this on the fin above it, and it holds it there. And then your water hose screws right into there. And these are made by Tempo. I'll show you the boxes. They are called a Flushetta, or a Flushette. Now I stapled this one. It's called a dry land Flushette. Okay. A dry land test flush. They're made by the Tempo Products Company, which is long out of business. So you go, well, how do I get one of these? The only way I've ever found them is at like yard sales, flea markets, and the like, but I have got several hits. I put a running search on eBay, and normally within a 6 months period, 1 or 2 of these will come up. They generally go for about 50 bucks. The 917 is the bigger version. Same exact operation, it's just bigger. So there's your 917 and here's your 918, and the 917 I think is for like 25 and on up. And this little guy, the 918, is for 15 down, old style. So that's them. They're called Flushettas. I have not seen one. I have heard of them. I have been told that Honda makes a very similar device that's made out of a chunk of hard plastic, nylon or something. But if you look at the older Honda 4-stroke motors, the first generation or so, they have the same style water pickup tube as the OMCs. Basically the same. The prop slides on. They have an actual shear pin, just like the older Evinrude Johnsons. And I've been told that that Honda one, and I have seen it, you can just type it into a Google, just type in Honda small engine flush device or something like that, and they'll pop up. And they look like they would do it as well. I've never had one though, because I have those. But you can get them off of eBay, Always look for them at yard sales, thrift shops, and stuff like that. You should be able to pick up one. And I was looking at it. It don't look like it would be that hard to make that device. I mean, it's just a piece of bent tin with a hole down through it. And if you brazed on a piece of tube that you could clamp a section of water hose to, you'd have it. And then get a couple springs and build that little plate. Don't look like it'd be real hard to fabricate it, but that's what they're called, the Tempo Dry Land Flechette. So it sucks the tri-flow in. Wait a minute, we ain't got a kill switch. Or a, whatever they call that. Man overboard. That's why you do a fact check first. Alright, now we got one. Now we do. Hey, look at there. Well, I think she's got spark. Okay, what I like to do is screw the low jet out of this thing. Well, I don't think it's even turning. Yeah, it is. And then I take a little bit of rattle can carb cleaner, shoot down through this top portion, and I'm just going to see if the thing will run. What I'm doing is already kind of futile, and I'll point that out to you in a minute. Why that is. Why that is. But anyway, sometimes you can get them to run. I would be surprised at all if this thing idles. So I'm taking out the needle and all. Get the rattle can. Spray up in that chamber as good as I can. Ooh, yeah. I'm going to go ahead and show you why this is kind of futile. See what's coming out? Out all over the top. It's cracked the whole length. So that top piece is the good old plastica is, and that's kind of, well, it's common. I see it a lot. I'm sure the rest of you guys do too. But now I'm going to take some compressed air and blow up in there. That'll generally, if the needle is stuck in there or anything, that'll pop it down. And sometimes you can at least make them run like that by doing such. So, over here, so I have room to pull on this thing. Alright, I don't know if I should choke it or try to or what. I'm gonna. Okay. she don't want to pump water. But hey. Righty. Take that and set it right outside and get it with some super clean. Because it's so going to need it, the whole motor. All right, she's on. And I think it'll be a quite good one. Said you saw that crack running the full length of that plastic top. Luckily I have several of those. And I will... Does that one have the 5 or the 6? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. It's got the 5 screw. I generally don't do the mod to them unless they're just, they won't idle it and so forth, then I'll do it. The mod being, you can, there's a service bulletin with OMC telling you how to put or add the 6 screw in the far right back corner to these. So, we got to replace the top of that garbage raider. Pull the thermostat, look at it. Chances are it's all mucked up and everything. And if that don't do it, put a new impeller in it. And if that don't get her peeing strong, then we have to pop that power head like a teenage pimple and address the grommets up under the power head. A lot of work on one of these little motors, but in my neck of the woods, these sell really well because bush pilots can throw them in a bush plane. You can throw them on the back of a four-wheeler side by side or whatever and go out to the more remote salmon streams and so forth. They're lightweight. Good horsepower for their size, and so these are real good selling motors. So I'll clean this one all up, and we'll get it. You understand? We're gonna get it. We'll clean this little baby right on up, and but that'll be the next video because this one's probably getting a little long. I want to thank everybody for joining us here, and hopefully somewhere in there you found one more hack from Kodiak, and thank you for watching.
More vids are a-coming on Inside Outboards with your host, Kodibass.